Hi, in this video I'd just really like to share something that I've been studying recently and share my experiences and thoughts and musings around that. So I'm Nikki Butler, also known as the Autistic Joyologist, and I guess I could refer to myself as a lifelong student. I love learning. It's something I've been ridiculed over the years, so I was always on a course of some description, and I remember friends and family and previous partners kind of saying, what, another course you're going to do nothing with, or what's the point in doing that? But it's something that I've really come to embrace, and my joy of learning and studying is something that I'm now really proud of. It keeps me curious. It just allows me to get lost in a subject that's of great interest to me. And recently I've been learning NLP, so Neuro-Linguistic Programming, with the incredible Sue Knight. Now, this style of learning was completely out of my comfort zone, but one of my values is courage. So I really wanted to commit to showing up, and I don't even think I have a comfort zone, but I was certainly well out of my comfort zone because I was interacting on Zoom, I was being put on the spot and having to respond, having to really think about my communication, my language, and putting it into practice within the learning environment. I don't like speaking in groups when I'm put on the spot because sometimes I can freeze, or you might call it a glitch. It's like I'm just stuck and it takes me a while to process, and sometimes I can't find the words or find the ability to respond in a way that I perhaps would like if I had some time to think about it. But I really embraced it, and I'm going to talk about NLP in more detail in some of my future videos. But the reason I chose to study NLP is because communication and language and connection are so powerful and something that's really important to me to learn and develop. And since I discovered I'm autistic and ADHD in my mid-40s, it's something I've brought a lot of attention to. So social environments are incredibly overwhelming for me. I'm much happier in a one-to-one environment. But something I've learned more recently is that those of us that are neurodivergent often communicate in quite a different way to neurotypical people. And that's definitely something that's come out of the NLP training. The ability to truly listen and engage and ask questions was quite different to how I notice I communicate with other neurodivergent people, which is often one of us would present, some information, share a story, and in order to show that we understand and have empathy, the other might then produce a similar example to say, hey, I get it, here's my example of what you've just demonstrated. But with NLP, it's more about being openly curious about the individual you're communicating with and drawing out more information and sparking that genuine deep connection. Now, as an ADHDer who finds it very difficult to retain a lot of information and has quite a short attention span, that was a challenge for me. But I have been able to make these small incremental improvements over the weeks that the course has gone on. And it's bringing a richness to my connection with other people, to my ability to communicate, and to start to communicate and be aware with multiple sensations. So I've been noticing, what I hear, what I see, what I visualise, and it's bringing a different level of understanding to people that I'm trying to build these connections with. So I just wondered what your experience with communication and building relationships is if you're neurodivergent. So do you find it easy to connect with people on a one-to-one basis? When you're having conversations, do you have a similar pattern as I just explained, where one of you might present a scenario or situation you've had and the other will show your understanding by explaining something similar that you've experienced? Or do you find it easier to get into the richness of conversation and ask questions and retain information and build a connection in that way? So let me know what your thoughts are. I'm definitely going to be sharing more of my experience of NLP as I process it, as I learn to put that into place. And I'm going on to do the Master Practitioner programme, which starts in a few weeks, which I am both excited and terrified about at the same time, because it's going to take it to a whole new level. But I keep reminding myself that fear and excitement create very similar physiological reactions in the body. So what I tell myself is fear is just excitement that needs an attitude adjustment in this context. So whilst, you know, throughout the course I've just done, there were moments when I genuinely was really uncomfortable and didn't want to show up, I tried to use that fear and flip it to excitement and curiosity so I could continue with my learning. That's definitely something I'm going to take through into the Master Practitioner Programme. Equally, if you've studied NLP and you found it to be really beneficial in your life, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to connect and hear your experiences. So you can pop a comment on the video below, reach out on the socials, or send me an email directly, hello@autisticjoyologist.co.uk. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.